One.
Oh, hey, how are you?
Good. How are things so far?
Pretty good. Good.
Yeah.
Getting comfortable. Got my feet under me, I think.
Yeah. So I think the last time we had one of these was like the right before we met you via the group meeting, and I just put these together. There's no requirement or anything like that. They're informal. Um, Hope to get people from around the industry, connected and learn a little bit about what's going on in their world. And, conversely, the kind of selfish side of it is, it gets our name in their head is kind of being looking out for them. But
Sure.
it's hit or miss sometimes. The last one we had probably half a dozen people at, which is a good response for these things. And sometimes, I just show up and it's just me, which is fine. I try to uh, we got someone coming in, and here we go. Uh, so, hey, Ann, how are you?
Hello, Frank.
How's
How
it
are you?
going?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good, good. And where are you located again?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Nebraska. Logan, you're in Nebraska too, aren't you?
Omaha as
Uh,
well.
Are you seriously? Where are you?
Um, North of Benson,
Okay.
Really? Very
so by
good.
the golf course.
Where do you work?
Uh,
Uh,
with Frank,
Yeah, he works with
workerscompensation.com.
us.
Very
Yeah.
well. I
Hi,
did not
Ann. How are
know.
you?
Hello, Anne.
Hi, how are you? I'm trying to look. Am I live here?
You, you are
Good, good.
live.
I'm live and in person. Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. We're just comparing notes on where everyone is. Frank, where in Florida are you?
I'm just a little bit north of West Palm Beach, which is
Yeah.
itself a little bit north of where Ann is.
I'm
Uh,
in Fort Lauderdale or Plantation. Yeah.
I used to live in Weston.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that's close.
We'd
That's
fly out
close.
of Fort Lauderdale Airport. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best airport. Yeah. I like
Very
West Palm too, but not a lot. I mean, I never can get tickets or, the rates are high or whatever. But I like Fort Lauderdale. As long
when
as
we
I
were
don't have to
there,
go
we
to
needed to
Miami.
what's that?
As long as I don't have to go to Miami.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
When we lived in Weston, we had to buy our first minivan,
Uh,
and they didn't have it at the dealership in Plantation, so we had to drive up to West Palm. And it was the biggest joke because we're driving down seeing West Palm in our minivan,
yeah, right.
all the cool sights.
So
That's when you
Logan,
know.
are you a writer too, or what do you do?
I'm a compliance analyst with
Oh, good.
workerscomp.com. So we kind of maintain the Simply Research product.
You want a
Yes.
job at the National Statistics Bureau? They
Yeah.
have an opening.
He might want to wait on that.
He
Yeah,
wants some
right.
job security.
Yeah, right, right, right. That's funny. Yeah, I'm sure. Do you see a lot of compliance issues? That's one thing, and I represent case management. So that's one thing that I always wonder, how are case managers doing as far as lawsuits and compliance issues and things like that? Like HIPAA is really challenging, but
Hmm.
it's things we have to do to work, right?
Hmm.
And how does that go, Anne? As far as if you're a case manager, what kind of training does a case manager's employer provide on that kind of information?
Well, most hospitals and managed care companies have to have an annual training on HIPAA. So you probably have to watch a video or they bring somebody in and you're introduced to the compliance officer and then what the policies and procedures are that apply to you. Like in workers' comp with all the state laws different from every state, you sometimes you would have to check with a compliance officer to see what you're allowed to do or able to do in that area, in that state, based on their laws. Like, and even every nurse has different rules according to the Board of Nursing. One of the big things is having a multi-state license. Like if you're like a nurse is licensed, And if a state says that you have to hold a license to work in this state, even as a case manager doing telephonic, you either have to be part of the multi-state licensure, which covers you for all the
Yeah.
states that are part of it, or you have to have a license. So at one time, before the multi-state issue really became known and addressed, some case managers had like 10, 15 licenses because they had to have a license in every state they worked. And if you don't have a license and you get called before you get deposition and they want to know, you have to show your license, and you don't have a license and you're required to have it in that state, and you have a license, it could be Florida, but California requires a California license. Your company might not represent you because you didn't have a license and you practice without a license. And as a licensed professional, we're obligated to know the laws and the rules. So it can get very sticky because some companies didn't want to pay for the licenses. They made the nurse pay for it direct.
Yeah. We had that issue at the utilization management company I was with. I'm thinking of you, Logan, with that plant in Fremont, Nebraska, which is about 20 minutes outside of Omaha. Last week,
I
this
think it was like last week.
they make wood pellets. This plant had an explosion and 3 people died. But they had compliance issues dating back on record to 2012. And I'm curious how that's all going to play out. Because there were issues, there were compliance problems, what they need to do to prove that they weren't in compliance. I don't know. I'll be curious to watch that. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like, write the check. You're going to write the check.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time I finished at Evacor, that utilization management company, I had 8 different state licenses, because some states won't participate in that. It was really fascinating.
Now, what company was this? Evacor?
The dreaded, Evil Core that did utilization management. Yeah.
Were you accredited by URAC? Do you remember?
Yes, they were.
I worked for URAC for a while. And
Did
we
you
used
really?
to go, we used to go and do the reviews on site, and do different companies, like the managed care companies. And it was interesting to see how, I mean, a good company really has everything in order. They tell you we have a problem up front. So, they have a problem, and then you just kind of work with them to resolve it and figure out what to do. But if we found a problem that they didn't come up and tell us, they could lose their certification because they didn't comply with the standards, and they didn't, and it could have been for years, so that was bad.
Yeah. When I did Medicare fraud investigation, I had to go do an on-site, they called it a chart review. And they sent an attorney, me, a couple, I think there were 6 of us, but we had to call, it was in rural North Carolina, and we had to call the police ahead of time so they could meet us there in case anyone would, pull a gun on us or something. But it was at a skilled nursing facility, and the guy who was in charge, I forget what his title was,
The administrator
tried to slip out the
probably.
back. The administrator tried to slip out the back, and there was a police officer standing there. And the guy realized he was caught and just started bawling.
Wow.
Because they didn't have their licenses. They didn't have any of that documentation. They were supposed to have a huge fraud scheme going, but.
Are you a nurse? Are you a nurse?
A physical therapist.
Oh, okay, good. What are you going to say, Frank?
I was gonna say I don't suppose it helps your case when on the testimony from the police officer is we saw him slipping out in the back.
Yeah. Then we have
Yeah.
no idea where he's going because it was like wooded back there. Like, what was
He's
he
just
gonna?
on the run.
He was
Yeah.
running. He was running
Yeah.
because he's going to jail. Oh, it's bad. It's just bad. And even people who are doing it right, it's bad. You know, it's just so hard
Well,
right
keeping
now.
up with all the rules and compliance stuff and licensure, that's a huge
Mhm.
piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Logan, remind us of your background. You were from the insurance industry, correct?
Yeah, so I was a work comp adjuster for 7 of the last 8 years, and one of those I did work comp research for the carrier I was working for. Similar to what I do now, basically, just maintaining the internal kind of research and compliance resources for the adjusting floor. So yeah, a lot of adjusting, a lot of claims, seen a lot. But yeah, it's
So were
interesting
you
now,
the
or
one,
it's useful.
you were like one of the people who put the cheat sheet together? Like
Ultimately, yeah.
for different states that the case managers would use to know what the rules were in that state. Because it's hard to, as you're working a case, to realize that you might have a problem here because of X rule, so they have little, I guess, the big things that they have to be aware of to have a little checklist.
Yeah, and it was one of those big, more kind of premium carriers. So it was nice that they had, utilization review, they had nurses, all of that in-house with the research. So we were able to work pretty closely with them
Yeah,
so that they
that
could
was
track
good.
those, changes in licensure and changes in things that they can and can't say with their the charges that they're working with,
Yeah.
the claimants. So it's good that there exists, our product too, that hopefully some people are using that for those purposes too. People on that subscribe to the Simply Research and those other products we've got.
Mm-hmm.
Frank, you know what I always wonder, is the newsletter free for people?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so everything that is on workerscompensation.com is free, and it's meant to be a marketing tool for largely for the product that Logan works on, Simply Research, which is behind
Oh,
paywall.
okay.
And there's a couple other paid products, but really, the idea has always been to get people's attention with the news site. So, you have compliance news, best practices, things like that to sort of first of all, let them know that we're out there and we're doing this. And then second of all, hopefully, if I'm doing my job okay, kind of, pique their interest a little bit in what more we have to offer. But
Right.
yes, the newsletter, all that is free. And now I believe, well, obviously you need an email to sign up. For a while, we had a situation where you couldn't get into the news if you didn't put in an email address, but people had trouble with that and it was kind of a hindrance. So we eliminated that. So it's, all the news is just out there.
And they can sign up for the newsletter. And
Correct.
are there several different newsletters?
We have a weekly email newsletter where that goes out every Wednesday into people's email inboxes. And that is, I pick 3 stories that I think were interesting or noteworthy or timely from the past week. And then we have a daily LinkedIn newsletter that people who are on LinkedIn can sign up for on that platform. And when you sign up for that, I think it lets you choose if you want an email, that newsletter emailed to you also or not, kind of depending on what your preference is.
Because I know I signed up at one point, but then I forgot how it worked. And when I share the article that I write, I wanted to try to tell people to sign up to get it, but I wasn't sure where to tell them to do that.
That's a good point. And I will I'll send you a link that you can include to sign up for, both the email and the LinkedIn newsletter so that you
Yeah.
can, put it like at the bottom, when you have
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
Like
how
if
you
you want
put,
to
send me an email or, yeah.
get this in your inbox for free, because people, I think a lot of people like those. We don't get much feedback from the articles because I remember you told me we're getting a lot of spam, so there's not that much feedback, but I do get feedback. Like when I go to a conference, or I was on a roundtable at CMSA conference on workers' comp, a roundtable discussion, and a lot of people had recognized my name just from the newsletter. They didn't know who I was. And when I sat down, oh, you're Ann, we love your column, so it is getting out there, which is good.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and that was Ann Stanko has been doing some
Yeah.
guest columns for us, and one piece of advice I gave her was that kind of initially it takes a little while to get the ball rolling, but once people continue to see that name up there, eventually it sticks.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
You're Ann with an E too. That's what this one lady calls me, Ann with an E.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a book, Ann with an E. Did you ever know that?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I'll have to get the name of the book. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Is that Anne of Green Gables?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. That's
I
one of
think
them
it's what it's
too.
supposed to be,
Yes.
Yeah. So are you, Frank and Ann and Logan, are you all going to be in Orlando next week?
I'll be
I will
there.
be. Yep.
Not
Okay.
me. I'll be
You're
here in
going to be
Omaha.
there, Logan?
No, I
Logan,
don't.
where
Not
do
that
you
I know
work?
of.
Where do you work?
I work with Frank at
No, but
workerscompensation.com.
where do you work?
Oh, sorry.
Are you in your home office, or?
Yes. Yep.
Everybody's virtual, huh?
Yeah, our whole company saved basically the mail guy. He does more than that, but part of his job is the mail guy. So he sits in an office that's, about the size of a typical back porch. Just so we have a physical presence, but the rest of the company is completely virtual. And Logan's based out of Nebraska, like
Oh, you're in
Ann
Nebraska.
has.
Yep.
Are you going to be there, Ann? Will you be at workers' comp?
No, I was talking to Julio Martinez about it, and he said he encouraged me to come. And he said, but it's not something for the faint of heart because there's 7,000 people and you really
It's
need
huge.
someone to broker introductions for you. Otherwise, you really can't navigate the meeting.
Well, I just get, next year, if you want to go, they have every year they offer free exhibit pass. Because I didn't go to the sessions. I just joined, I just got an exhibit pass. So I'll just go to the exhibit hall. And for me, like, I still do some case management, so I like to go to the exhibit hall to find resources and people that I can get, like, meet these people from different companies that I've been working with all year or 5 years and never met them. But, so I like to go to the conference, to the exhibit hall. Some of the sessions are good too, but I just didn't want to, I'm only going to stay for the day. I'll go on Monday. So next year, and they had that until I think April 12th was when you could get the free pass. If you called it, you could probably still get it if you could go. But it's nice to go in the exhibit hall and walk around and just talk to people. You'll get a lot of interesting tips. I don't know how many vendors they have. I can't remember.
It's huge. It's huge.
big.
And it kind of bucks a trend because the exhibit halls and conferences that I've been to have kind of been dwindling over the years because it's just not the same. And a lot of companies are reluctant to invest money in that. But the WCI one has maintained some significant strength. They have a huge exhibit hall
Yeah.
and a
Oh, you guys, you're
lot
making me
going on
feel
in there.
terrible.
Well, no.
Where,
Next
The
year.
irony is, I
Where
am
do you
leaving
live?
Sunday. I live in Omaha, and I'm leaving Sunday with
Omaha.
my college son to drive him back to Florida State in Tallahassee. So I'll be
okay.
as far as Tallahassee, but I'm not driving down to Orlando.
Yeah. Well, maybe next year, think about if you want to go. Because it
Yeah.
is nice. It is nice to make those contacts. People who you might want to interview or talk to, or, that's always good.
Yeah,
But,
I wish. It would be
but
nice.
next year they do have that free exhibit hall pass. So do you guys have a booth, Frank?
Not this year. We've toyed with the idea and just kind of looking at the numbers. We passed on it this year. If I had my way, I would would love for us to have a booth there just because of what I just mentioned. It's, I mean, the exhibit hall gets packed. I mean, it gets some significant traffic. So
Oh, it'd
whatever
be
they're
so
doing, they're
nice.
doing right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they would do this. You probably have to talk to like McConaughey or whoever is in charge, but I don't know if you would print a newsletter for just that, even that conference, and they could give it out at the registration desk or something. That might be a way to get, because you're
That's,
media, you're
yeah.
media and education, and they might give you like a discount. Or I know we, at our conference anyway, which is a Florida conference, which we haven't had in 2 years. We used to give The Voice. I don't know if you ever heard of The Voice
Sure. Yeah.
newsletter. We used
Melanie.
to
Yeah.
give them a free table. Yeah, Melanie, and Ray.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be if you talk to the leaders of the conference, like if you give them a newsletter, like to print and give it to everybody.
Yeah,
Because it
that's a
is a
great
good
idea.
way to get the name out.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
They
how
could
big
give-
is, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead, go ahead.
how big is the staff at workerscompensation.com?
Not terribly big. I think, what are we, Logan? With you on there, are we at 12 now?
I thought it was 10, but maybe
10.
maybe we're
Yeah, see.
12. 10 or 12.
Yeah. So, and that's with two recent new hires, Logan, and then an
Jared.
Iowan. Yeah, Jared's from, I know there's a Nebraska-Iowa rivalry, so
Yeah,
I hesitate to bring that up, but
yeah,
yeah, so
that's right.
yeah, we're up to I guess yeah, we're up to 10.
And so what are all the roles or the positions then?
There's okay, so we have a president, his name's Bob Bennett. So he's in charge of everything. We have an IT guy, a client relation manager who's, a lot of us wear a bunch of different hats, but she falls under that title. And also kind of handles our CRM. We use HubSpot, and she's a kind of like the guru in that. All of us would be, or at least Bob and I would be very confused by it, but she keeps us straight. And then the compliance team is, let's see, Logan, Jared, Robin, and Sandy. So four. That's our biggest, I guess, department, and they're the ones
Mhm.
that make sure that we keep all of our rules and regs and stats and state information up to date on the database that's behind the paywall. And then Richie's kind of does a little bit of everything, and he's the one that's actually in the physical office. And then Claire's our, most of you know Claire Musselman's our chief operating officer.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I think that I forget anyone. I don't think I forgot anyone.
I
Will
think
Claire
that's
be
it.
at workers' comp?
I beg your pardon?
Will Claire be at workers' comp?
She was scheduled to, and then she was invited, or yeah, she was invited to do something at Drake University where she's on staff, or
No.
she's on the faculty, and we said that was fine to take precedence over the conference. So
Mm.
she will not be there so far as I know.
Okay.
That's Iowa too. We're getting more and more in the Midwest.
Yeah, she's an Iowan
Yeah, that's
also. That's right.
right.
We're getting the Midwest covered.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
very good.
So, Ann S., how did your son end up at Florida State?
He had an older brother who was looking for a program in data science and user experience. Florida State had created this program. It's like 5 or 10 years old. And it's one of the few, it's a really highly ranked public university, but it is way more affordable than a lot of, as an outstate resident, it's much more affordable than a lot of other public universities. And this younger brother decided to follow in his brother's footsteps, so made the transition.
IT's the way to go, I think, for sure.
Yeah, it's worked out well for him. And oddly enough, he will graduate. He had a lot of like AP credits and dual enrollment, so he'll Florida State recognized those, so he will graduate in 3 years.
Oh, good for him.
And was able to get an internship this summer in
Great.
data science. So after a year of college, that was a pretty sweet deal. So
Yeah, it's a
Anyway.
very sweet
Maintain the
deal.
Husker fandom, or did that
I
go by the
know.
wayside?
Yeah. A lot of his classmates, well, one of his classmates got a 36 on the ACT, and the governor of Nebraska created a program that year that anyone with a 36 can go to school for free room and board, free tuition, plus a $5,000 stipend.
Whoa.
So his good friend is at UNL.
So is 36 high or low? I don't
It's a
It's the
know.
perfect
max.
score.
Oh, it's a
maximum.
perfect score, really?
Mhm.
Wow.
And oddly enough, this kid's younger brother just got one. So he's also going to go to UNL, and they've increased it now. It's a $10,000 stipend.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I forget what the cute little logo is for trying to diminish the brain drain that leaves Nebraska. So
You a Husker, Logan?
Yeah, and I also went to university. Yep.
good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, it was a good time. I'm glad. I'm from Omaha, so I basically just stayed home, but it was good. I'm glad that's where I went. It felt good.
Yeah.
Someone should
Connections
talk
are a
to
big thing. So
I was in the
Sorry.
history department, and it turned out really well. I liked all the folks and the staff there for that.
very good.
Humanities, good stuff.
Good, good.
Well,
You're
excellent.
a UF guy, Frank, right?
Yeah, I went, I have a law degree. I never ended up practicing just because of, the way life goes sometimes. But my law degree is from University of Florida. I did my undergraduate at University of South Florida, which is sort of misnamed because it's in West Central Florida.
Yeah.
But there you go, and that's in Tampa. So yeah, I did my undergraduate there and spent a few years in Gainesville. So
Little Nebraska connection. Ben Sass
Ben
was
Sass, yeah, I was the
Right,
president
right.
for a little
briefly.
while. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was smooth sailing, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure all the political fallout from that has happened yet, but we'll see. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. True.
he's from our neck of the woods, though. He was from Fremont before that, Midland University, like
Yeah.
a small like private school in Fremont.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Quite interesting.
What district are your kids, or where did they go? Ann?
I don't have children.
Oh, sorry,
We're actually,
Ann.
the other end, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh no, my kids, we moved here from Iowa. Actually, we moved to Omaha about 5 years ago. So my 3 oldest went to school in Iowa. We lived in Des Moines.
Okay.
And then the son who's at Florida State went to Mount Michael. It's a
Yeah.
all boys boarding high school.
Yeah, I went to Elkhorn, so same
Oh, very
class. They
good.
were neck
Yeah,
of the woods.
yeah, very well. Good
So
school.
when were you in Florida, Ann? And
When
Weston?
quite a while ago,
Oh, okay.
we moved there for my husband's position. And then shortly after we got there, he got this fabulous offer to come to Omaha. So we
Oh, okay.
left and came up to Omaha.
Great, great.
Yeah.
And
So,
Ann Llewellyn, you are originally from Philadelphia, is that correct?
Yeah, Philadelphia. Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think I've seen some pro Eagles posts
Oh,
from
yeah.
time to time. So
Yeah,
season's upon us here.
my brother gets mad because we've been here for 30 some years in Florida, and I do when we don't play the Dolphins or playing anybody else, but if they play Philadelphia, that's a big game. But yeah. He said you can't be a fan for both. You have to choose. I said, "Oh, Tim, I live here. Come on. But it's fun."
Yeah.
We've got a big one like that. So we have Creighton is in Omaha, and they're a big basketball school. And then Lincoln, the University of Nebraska, is just 45 minutes down the road. So there's split allegiances. Some people will try to root for both. Some people just root for one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all silly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
thanks.
But well, it was funny because we had our family come for Thanksgiving one year, and the Dolphins were playing the Eagles, and we were like 0-8 or whatever. We had won no games that year. The only game they won was when they beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Miami, and it was like everybody
course.
was like not happy.
Yeah, yeah,
We're like, I swear we didn't plan this.
yeah.
Can never tell. Any given Sunday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
All right, well, I
Mm.
appreciate it. I don't want to keep you more. It's been 30 minutes, and I'll look for you. You'll be there. You said
Monday.
Monday? Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
just
look for you
Monday.
there. Yep.
Yeah, I'll be in the exhibit hall probably pretty much the whole time.
All
So
right, perfect.
is Frank here? You know who I see? What's her name? Tammy Boyd.
Yeah, I need to connect with her as well.
Yeah, she'll
It's a
probably be there.
It's a 3-day conference?
It
It is.
starts
Well,
on Saturday, doesn't it? Saturday?
yeah, actually they do there's a service day on Saturday, and then
Oh, that's
a
right.
couple
That's
things
right.
going on Sunday, and then it really cranks up on Monday, and then it goes through Wednesday. They start taking down the exhibit hall like at the end of the day Tuesday,
Okay.
and Wednesday's kind of just, finishing things out and a few sessions, and wraps up like usually early afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like adjusters are there to get credits, nurses, the doctors, and then there's like they have mock court. They do like a mock court there, and it's really interesting. Like what's happening, and it's for Florida. If you're in workers' comp, you go to workers' comp. You go to this
Okay.
conference. So, but yeah, so it
Well,
should be
thank you.
fun. Okay,
All
guys.
right.
Well, thanks. It was good to comp it up with you guys.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate it. Ann's
It's good
and
to meet you.
Logan, thanks so much.
Okay, we'll
great to
And
see.
meet you.
we'll get the
Have a
next
good.
date out. It'll be, I'm trying to do these monthly now, so it'll be sometime in the first couple weeks of September, probably the second week of September. So just, I'll send around the information like I did before, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Sounds
Okay,
great.
have a good day, everybody. Take
All
Thank
care.
right,
you.
thanks a bunch, guys. Have a
Take
good
care.
one.